This is Whiteboard Theology. Welcome to the class, How to Study the Bible, Session 5, Narrative. The next 9 videos will briefly introduce you to the main genres of literature in the Bible. Understanding genre is vital to studying the Bible. If you don't know what you're reading, you won't know how to read it. We understand this in everyday life. You don't read an instruction manual the same way you read a letter from your friend overseas. Every genre has certain elements that will help us interpret what the author is saying. First up is narrative. Narrative is the story form of literature. Over half of the Old Testament is narrative. You'll find it in Genesis, the first half of Exodus, Numbers, 1 Samuel, all the way through Esther, parts of Daniel and Haggai, and the book of Jonah. It's characterized by all the things that you love about great stories. Here's what you should look for when you read. Setting. When and where is this happening? Plot. What is the conflict? What are the major turning points? How does resolution come? Characters. Who are these people? What do they know? What do their actions reveal about their character? What are their motives? How do they relate to each other and God? The narrator. This person is often neutral and stable and rarely gives commentary, but always has an agenda to make a theological or moral point. Sometimes, however, the narrator is simply teaching us the context of the history of God's people. Look for lots of comparison, contrast, irony, and foreshadowing of what is to come. Simply pay attention to what the author tells you when you're reading a narrative. Finally, narrative reveals we can't keep God in a nice, small theological box. He is intimately involved in the details of this world because he speaks, acts, relates, and feels. In narrative, we also see that God ultimately is the hero of every story. There you have it. Keep this in mind when you're reading narrative in the Bible. We'll see you next time on Whiteboard Theology.